Now the question is, this question though may not be in the theory exam, but definitely this question is a viva question which you will have to answer to examiner during your viva, very frequently asked. Question is that anatomical significance of the sternal angle. That means what are the important events which may take place at or which takes place not may important events taking place at the sternal angle. So this is a viva question and you have to narrate that what happens at the level of the sternal angle anatomically. Okay, anatomically what events are taking place in that. Okay, so it has a great anatomical significance. Let us come first, what is a sternal angle. Okay, so sternal angle is present at the level of the or superior and inferior mediastinum. That means if you draw a line from this manibro-sternal joint, okay, if you draw a line, imaginary line from manibro-sternal joint, it will come posteriorly and will cut to the lower margin of the fourth thoracic vertebrae or to the intervertebral disc between fourth and the fifth thoracic vertebrae. This is the line, and this line, which is an imaginary line extending from sternal angle to the lower border of the fourth thoracic vertebrae, is a demarcation line between the superior and inferior mediastinum. So whatsoever thoracic cavity is there, above this line is the superior mediastinum and the below is the inferior mediastinum. Okay, so this is the one plane. Okay, one plane, that is the plane differentiating superior mediastinum with that of the inferior mediastinum. This is the manubrum sterni, this is the body of the sternum, the Giffite process, and this is the thoracic vertebral column which has the concavity forward. So this is the 12th thoracic vertebrae, below will come the L1. Okay, it will come the L1 vertebrae. Now at this angle, what are the events which takes place? Okay, at the level of the sternal angle or the manibro-sternal joint. Okay, at the level of the manibro-sternal joint. Now at this level there is the beginning of the arch of aorta, and arch of aorta also ends at the same level. That means at the level of the sternal angle it begins as well as it ends. Okay, so it lies within the superior part of this sternal angle, just in front of the thoracic third and fourth vertebrae. If I draw very roughly this arch of aorta, this will be something like this. Okay, so it is the beginning and it is the end of the beginning, means it begins with the continuation of the ascending aorta. So this part is the ascending aorta and it continues at its termination with the descending aorta. So here is the ascending aorta and here is descending, and this lies, this is here in the superior mediastinum, it is the arch of the aorta. Okay, it is arch. So you may answer as that it is the beginning of the arch of aorta as a continuation of ascending, and it is the termination of the arch of aorta. From here it continues as the descending thoracic aorta. Descending thoracic aorta. The second important event which takes place at the manibro-sternal joint or at the sternal angle, here that there occurs the bifurcation of the trachea. That means the trachea bifurcates into the right and the left principal bronchus. And the inferior surface of the arch of aorta here is having the inferior relation with that of the left principal bronchus. Okay, so it hooks round the left principal bronchus, thus it hooks round the root of the left okay, lung, root of the left lung. So this is the bifurcation of trachea, an important event which is taking place, okay, and this is at the level of the fourth thoracic vertebrae. Then there is also the division of the pulmonary trunk. The pulmonary trunk on the inferior aspect of the arch of aorta divides into right and left pulmonary artery. Okay, it divides into, and both right and left pulmonary artery from here goes to the root of the lung. Okay, on right and the left side respectively. So third important event which is taking place is the division of the pulmonary trunk into right and left pulmonary artery. The fourth important event which is taking place here, it is that here is the opening of the azygous vein in the superior vena cava. So the azygous vein opens into the superior vena cava at the level of the sternal angle, okay, at the level of the sternal angle. Then this left recurrent laryngeal nerve, okay, the left recurrent laryngeal nerve lies at this level just below the, or it is the inferior relation of the arch of the aorta, okay, so it just winds round, okay, and goes upward. This continuation is that of the vagus nerve, and it gives a branch what is called as the recurrent laryngeal nerve, which continues, okay, onto the inferior surface of the arch of aorta, winds round. It winds round the arch of aorta and goes back to the neck. So this is the arch of, and then this is the left recurrent laryngeal nerve, which is a branch of the vagus nerve, left vagus nerve. Then it also forms the boundary between superior and inferior medias, that I have already covered. Okay, the first sentence was it forms the boundary between superior and inferior mediastinum, below which lies the inferior mediastinum. Okay, then it is at this level there is the presence of the intervertebral disc, okay, between the thoracic fourth and thoracic fifth vertebra. So either it is cutting at the lower margin of L4 vertebral body or at the level of the intervertebral disc, okay, T4 and T5. Now this is very important relation, that the second pair of the costal cartilage lies at this level. At this level means at this sternal angle, okay, at the manubro-sternal joint. See this diagram. This is the manubrum sterni. This is the body of the sternum, okay. This is the first rib, okay, and the first costal cartilage which articulates here with that of the manubrum sterni. This is the second rib and second costal cartilage which joins at the junction of the manubrum sterni and body, which is the sternal angle. So this is the sternal angle where the second costal cartilage, and as I told you previously in some of the video, that sternal angle makes an angle here. See this there is an angle between manubrum and that of the body of the sternum, that is the sternal angle, and this sternal angle can be palpated on the front of the chest wall very easily. So you can palpate the sternal angle very easily, and if you will just go lateral to the sternal angle on either side, this is the site where you can palpate also the second costal cartilage, okay, second costal cartilage. Now this fact that it is at this side, the second pair of the costal cartilage, they articulate here at the sternal angle with the sternal angle here with the manubro-sternal and body here. So this fact is utilized in calculating the ribs and the intercostal spaces. Okay, and for this calculation one has to palpate the ribs or the intercostal spaces, okay, in between the two adjacent ribs, and you have to go laterally and inferiorly. You cannot count in this direction directly downward, because lower down all this costal cartilage will be crowded here, they will come close to each other and hardly any intercostal space can be palpated. But as they go laterally, they spread, and the intercostal space between the adjacent rib can be easily palpated. So always palpate the intercostal space or the rib number right from second rib, then come to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10. But you have to go into the infralateral direction, because then there is a gap is existing between the two adjacent rib. Otherwise, if you will go directly downward from this, okay, then it will not be possible. Okay, and calculation of this intercostal spaces or the rib number is very important in clinical practice, where you have to palpate, give the injection into the pericardial cavity near the apex beat, or you have to just put the leads of the electrocardiogram ECG. For that you have to also calculate, okay, and various surgical procedure you will have to know because where is the intercostal space is lying, and just to evaluate the pleural reflection, okay, in relation to this costal cartilages, in relation to the ribs, okay, and intercostal spaces, okay, as in case of drawing the fluid of the pleural effusion, okay, from the pleural cavity, you should know the costal, intercostal space, okay. So this is a very short video which is telling you how to reply to the viva question, that what are the events which takes place at the level of the sternal angle. Just remember this, okay. These are important one I have taken, okay, and if you can remember this, and you will be able to answer to your teacher, okay, you will be able. Thank you very much for watching this short video.